What happens when you put traitors and felons in charge of government? You get Operation Whirlwind. What is Operation Whirlwind? If this moves forward, it is going to be the most destructive force that's been unleashed on the First Amendment in the history of the U.S. And who is behind it? Ed Martin is the person who is behind Operation Whirlwind. So who is Ed Martin? He is one of the attorneys in the Trump DOJ, and his backstory includes being a rabid election denier and apologist for domestic terrorists that stormed the Capitol on J6. So you have somebody who is an enabler and a terrorist sympathizer who is now threatening to go after legislators who speak ill of his dear leader, Mango Mussolini. So what is all of this about? Rolling Stone shared this story, and what's interesting about this is that Ed Martin is taking the unprecedented step of challenging legislators, and eventually this will hit the press as well. Anybody who criticizes the president or Elon Musk or anything that DOJ is doing and questions the legitimacy of it will be in the crosshairs of this quote-unquote prosecutor. This is how dictatorships take hold. When you talk about Timothy Snyder's book on tyranny, one of the key chapters early on is the chapter on defending institutions. Free speech is an institution that the entire republic is built on. When you see people in the Department of Justice start attacking free speech as a way to silence their critics, you are far along the road of a terrible path. This is the moment where all of us who believe in the Constitution and the Republic and free speech and being a secular, pluralistic democracy need to stand and make sure that we are in one voice pushing back against these tyrants and Nazis who have taken over the regime. And I use that word deliberately. You've seen for 2+ years, maybe more, how this 34-time convicted felon is drawing straight from the book of the failed Austrian painter. You've seen it in his rallies, you've seen it in his policies, you've seen it in his language, and now you're starting to see it take shape in the first 100 days of his administration. It took that guy less than 60 days to convert a constitutional republic into a dictatorship. And that is the path that this administration is on right now. It is time to stop saying that everyone is overreacting. Understand what is going on right now. Understand what it is that you're seeing. You are going to be judged from this moment forward based on what you do and how you respond. So, how do we respond? One of the things that we need to be aware of is that this administration is itching for its opposition to take to the streets as a catalyst to incite violence and declare martial law. So don't fall for that bait. Use your judgment when it comes to protesting, but we need to be very careful on where we are, who we're with, and what we're doing, because I would not put it past this administration to engineer some sort of event to justify declaring martial law. If we need to be careful protesting, what else can we do? What we need to pay attention to are 2 dates right off the bat. One is February 28th, and the other one is March 15th. Those are the first 2 dates of a formal economic shutdown. On the 28th, we do an economic strike and do no purchasing whatsoever. And on the 15th of March, we do nothing. No work, no consumption, no nothing. The best way to impact change is to hit the oligarchs in their pocketbook. And if that doesn't move the needle, we continue to do it. Slow down consumption as much as possible, slow down output as much as possible, slow down productivity as much as possible, and make really smart decisions in terms of where you do spend your money, because you certainly don't want to be supporting the oligarchs that are supporting this regime. This is crunch time. It is no longer a drill. This is no longer guesswork. When you have members of the administration that are threatening to prosecute legislators who speak critically of the administration, you know we're on a bad path. This is not the time to take things lightly. We cannot wait this out until 2026 or 2028, because if we do, it'll be all over before summer.